Hello and welcome. Today we're working on the VLOOKUP function in Excel. It's an important function. You need to know it. It has a little bit of learning curve, but you can do this, and so you need to know it. Let's get started. Now, we have the top three functions in Excel. VLOOKUP is number 3. So it is an important function, used a lot, and a lot of times in job interviews they'll say, do you know Excel? You say yes, hopefully, and they say, do you know VLOOKUP? And you say, yes, I know how to do VLOOKUP. Or maybe you're watching that because you're having a job interview coming up. So VLOOKUP is all about vertical columns. So this little table array has 4 columns and the data is arranged in columns. So we need 4 things. We need the lookup value. So we might look up number 103 and it could pull marble, or it could pull the price, it could pull the color. The table array is just highlight the entire table if you're looking for the item number. And then you need to specify which column it is. And then it assumes a closest match, or you can say false and it's the exact match. I've got some set up here for us, and I'm going to show you how it works, and then I'll show you how to do it step by step. So let's say we type in 103. 103 is going to pull marble, 1964, and blue, and that's what it does. Let me show you this step by step. So let's get rid of the VLOOKUP here, and so I've put a helper number here. So this is column 1, 2, 3, 4. For this one right here, we have the column numbers. So the way you get started is you can type equals VLOOKUP, and it will start auto recommending, and you can start typing this in. I don't like to do it this way, especially when I'm showing people for the first time. I like to go beside the formula bar and hit the FX, and then you can search for VLOOKUP. It's the last thing I did, so it's the very first thing on the list. So I'm going to hit VLOOKUP, and now you know there's 4 things we need to find, 4 arguments. So our lookup value is going to be 103. Now I want that to stay because I'm going to copy it across to do 3 at once. So I'm going to make that F4 and make it $G $3. That's called an absolute address. My table array, I want to pull the number 101, 107, 110 or whatever, and so I'm going to make that absolute. Now the column index number, I'm going to point to the 2, the very first one. I want to pull the name, and the range lookup, the default, if you leave it blank, if it's omitted, then it's going to be true, but we can do an exact match, which is false. It's not going to matter on this one necessarily because the numbers are discrete, 101, 102, and so on. But let's just get in the habit. We'll just say we want this to be true. All right, so it pulls marble, and so that's correct. Now if I copy it across, it's going to pull the different columns. So 103 is marble, 1964, and it's blue. I'm going to format this for dollar amount. And so there we have, it pulls correctly. Let's check our work. 108 would be light, $20 and a penny, and teal. So that's working, and you can do several VLOOKUPs at once. If you want to know the item number, it can pull the next 3 things. Now, what if we want to enter the name? Then we can only go to the right. We can't go left. We can't pull the item number. We could pull the price, and we could pull the color. So let me show you how to do it for this one if we have the name. So let's put the name in. Let's make it coffee. And what should it pull if we pull the color? Coffee, the color is pink. So let's do the VLOOKUP. The lookup value is coffee. We don't need an absolute value. The table array, instead of going the entire table, we need to start where the first column is what we're looking up. So it needs to be, we only have a 3 column table in this case because we're going to look in the first column for coffee. And then the column index is going to be 1, 2, 3 if we pull the color, so 3. And here we need to find the exact match, so false. And so it pulls pink. Now, this one may be not as efficient because you have to type in the word. Comment, it pulls the color green. Hill, it pulls the color purple. Now, if we misspell something, by the way, capitalization wouldn't matter, so hill would still be correct. But if I misspell it, then obviously we don't have something, right? So it has to be an exact, and so you can pull it by name and then pull the color. Let's go back. Okay, the last one, let's do it on price, and this shows the exact match and the closest match. Okay, so let's type in a number here. We have one that's $17.55, so let's put in $17.55. Now for this one to work, you see it's not working, and let me explain why. The items are organized by item numbers, and we need to organize this by price. So we need to do this in an ascending way. So the lower numbers are first and the larger numbers, and then $17.55 is going to pull orange. Okay, so let me show you how this one works. Let's get rid of it. So the VLOOKUP, what do we need? We need the lookup value is $17.55. The table array is only 2 columns because I'm looking up the price, and so that has to be the first column. The column index number is 2, and how are we going to look at the number here? We want to use the closest, so I'm going to type in true. I can omit this, but let me put in true, and it's going to pull orange. So $17.55 is orange. Now, what if we put in 18? There's not one that says 18, so we're in between red and pink, so what does it do? Well, 18, it's going to pull red. Okay, why? Well, closest match is kind of like the old Price is Right rules. It's closest, but without going over. At 18, the only one below that, the next one below that is red at $17.58. 18 is $18.97. So let's do $18.90. It's still going to pull red. 19, it will pull pink. So at 19, it goes above the $18.97, and it would pull pink, but it would not pull black, which is $19.57. So you can say, well, we want one that is priced at or below $22, and what do we get? We get scarlet. So it's working correctly. So that's the difference between the exact match and the closest match. You can do VLOOKUP. Good luck. We'll see you in the next video.